Welcome back to the Lounge with Larz. Today I'm excited to sit down with someone who embodies balance and style and grace. She's a talented interior designer, a thriving business owner, a newlywed, a mother navigating both beauty of a blended family and the hustle of entrepreneurship. Her ability to create harmony, not just in homes, but in life, is something I admire deeply. Michelle, welcome to the show.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. It feels so different being on this side.
Right?
As I had my own podcast and had you on the show. Yes. And it's a more relaxed feeling that I get to come in here and have.
You're more relaxed and I'm more nervous now. Shoes on the other foot. Your podcast was the first one that I think I was on for a long time. So I was pretty nervous. Yeah. I think we were both like, how's this going to go?
Yeah.
I think it went really well.
Thank you.
And so I listened to it.
Because of you. So I appreciate it.
I tried my best. So I think it worked out really well. You did a great job. But now we're here in my studio, which is in my house.
Yeah. Congratulations.
And I've been leaning on you for the interior decor. Hey, Michelle, how does this look? Does this fit? These chairs I like.
You got style yourself. You got to give yourself credit.
I got a little style.
You do. Yeah.
Maybe on the edgy side, but yeah, Kate comes in. Obviously, Kate is my wife. She comes in and balances the studio out, the home out, because if I decorated it, it would probably be like all these animals everywhere. And so for the viewers who can't see it, I'm a big hunter.
Yes.
I love the outdoors. And so I'm a big bow guy. And so I like to get out there and try to hunt animals with my bow. And so in the studio...
Yeah, I can't relate to that in any way.
You can relate to camping though, right?
Yeah, camping's a huge part of my life, or growing up it was.
And you just did it.
Yes. Yeah.
So...
Don't ask me where we went because I can't even tell you. Somewhere at the Grand Canyon.
Okay, but you just got married.
Yes.
And then you went camping.
Yeah.
You went camping just to... Why? Just because you wanted to stay closer to home?
My husband told me we're going camping.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
That's what husbands do.
Yeah,
kinda.
and I said, okay. And
So you went maybe up north by the Grand Canyon.
But let me just tell you, I'm not tenting it.
Okay.
It wasn't an RV.
Was it an Airbnb? And
yeah.
You got to be like glamorous like every morning?
I don't need to be glamorous every morning, but I can rough it out.
Okay.
And I can still make it look good roughing it out. Yeah. But an RV definitely was the way to get me there.
So you guys rented an RV?
Yeah.
Very
but
cool.
we're with the two kids.
Yeah.
I have two kids, a 9 and a 5-year-old. I was about to say 6 because he's going to be 6 in a couple weeks. But
it happens fast.
It does. And one on the way. So I needed to be comfortable.
Yeah.
And so he told me, we're going camping the weekend after our wedding, but I got an RV. And so I was like, okay.
Did you guys cook in the RV?
Did. I made a breakfast. I made pancakes.
Ooh, I love pancakes.
Yeah.
We used to do like a lot of camping trips when I was younger. So my parents didn't have a lot of money. My dad was in the military. My mom was a cashier. So yeah, we didn't have a lot of money. They had a lot of kids running around. They were pinching their pennies. So what we would do is, those times that we had availability, we would just jump in my dad's truck. We would all go up north by the Grand Canyon, Flagstaff area. And we would just sleep under the stars. And I think those were the best moments of my life.
Totally. I can relate to that because growing up, I come from a big family. We grew up in New Mexico, and it was just camp. The only way to get us all out of hair, I think, our parents. And now we have family reunions, and it is camping because to host my large family.
What's a large family?
Extended. Oh, okay. So we just had a reunion last year, and there was not all of us can make it. So there was about 84 of us there, and about 35 of us
were missing. Yeah, that's a big gathering.
Yeah, and we're close.
That's cool.
Yeah, we're a close family.
Right.
It was nice.
In your family, do you ever get into those little moments of, this person did this and I don't approve of that? And is there those maybe catty moments? Because I know there's those moments in our family, Michelle.
I feel it's never where it's ill will. It's all just banter.
Yeah.
So there's teasing, 100%. I think my family was built off of teasing. And so you have to have a strong back, strong bone to the teasing.
Yep.
You won't survive in my family without you're being joked on. But it all comes with love.
Yeah.
And so I think I was the most sensitive growing up to it. So I got picked on more because of it.
Because you were the youngest?
Of my immediate family, I'm the second to the youngest. I'm one of five, and I'm the fourth born. And so you just have to tough it out.
Yeah. So you just got married. You invited us up there. Thank you for that. It was a beautiful wedding. There was some rain. Do you want to share a little bit about?
I don't.
No? Okay.
I don't because my husband being an architect. Look at how easy that just rolls off my tongue.
Beautiful.
He's an architect and I'm a designer, and we're creatives. And so we planned this, he and I, and we did such a good job planning it. I'm saying a good job in the sense of like our visions were the same of what we wanted. And we did a really good job of bringing our visions together collectively without crazy fights or chaos. It was easy actually to plan something with him. And it just made me so devastated that our vision that we worked so hard for the past 9 months planning completely in one day was just deviated to we had to pivot to a completely different vision, and you had to let go of those expectations. And that was, in the moment, it was easy for me to do because I have to be solution oriented in my career always, right? Because construction's imperfect in my field, and you're always needing to be on your feet of this doesn't go well, what else? There's something else that we can do instead. And so in the moment it was easy, but as soon as everybody went home and it was just he and I, we were like, that was a bummer. But it was beautiful. And looking at the photos, it was really beautiful. And the purpose was to get married.
That's it.
And we did.
Purpose is to get married to the one you really have connected with.
Yeah.
And it is a special day. It will always be a special day for you. But yeah, I think that's life. It's never as clean or as straight, and you can never plan it. Something's always going to come out of left field. And that was just one of those days where Arizona, it rains all day long, and it never happens. We're like in
not
a
in
drought.
Arizona.
Yeah,
we went to bed at 10 o'clock and it was 37 degrees out, and it snowed on the mountains that day in Arizona in April. What were the odds of that happening? I thought we had it in the bag, like April 18th.
Right.
It was an easy sunny day. The venue was gorgeous. I was like, I don't have to worry about weather. It's always sunny here.
Gosh, and yeah, I remember waking up and it was like the mountains were just snow everywhere on the mountains. And you don't see that in Arizona a lot. I've seen it maybe up on the Superstition Mountains here and there throughout my years, but gosh, just waking up, it was just, there's snow everywhere.
I was grateful for everybody showing up still, like vendors especially, because they were coming from Flagstaff, which it was snowing there, and friends and family braving the weather. Thankfully, we got blankets and umbrellas. It was complete chaos in the tent because we had to move about almost 90 people inside a tent when we had it for an outdoor space. Yep. But that goes to show you that's a wedding, and life doesn't go as planned. As much as you can prepare and plan for it, pivots are going to be thrown your way. I feel like Tyler and I faced adversity really quickly. That was the first day of it, and we handled it well.
You guys handled it well and just with grace.
Oh,
and it was beautiful.
We were all freezing together.
It was cold. And yeah, I was surprised of how chilly it got a little bit later. Gosh, the girls who have holes, and Kate, that's what Kate was mentioning. She's, my toes are freezing. So I didn't even think about that. I'm like, I'm just cold, but girls have it worse because they have exposed
legs. Yeah, they have
toes.
Exposed legs and toes. And I'm also happy that day's over.
I bet.
I'm happy the planning is over, but I'm happy that chaos of that day was over.
For sure, for sure. It was beautiful, and congratulations.
Thank
and
you.
I wish you nothing but the best. Tyler's a great guy, and just seeing him be there for you, just being very adaptable. You got a good guy. For sure. Thank you. So, Michelle, I wanted to lean in today just to start us off with kind of your journey into design. Where did you start from? How did you get to where you're at? And yeah, how are things going right now?
Things are going well. So thank you. Where it started, I went to ASU studying communications, and I graduated with a communications degree thinking I was going to go into marketing, because at the time, graduating in 2012, marketing was a hot career. It was like everybody wanted to go into marketing. And my senior year, I go to my advisor at ASU and I ask her, I think I want to switch to interior design. I don't know what I'm doing with this degree I'm about to get. Can I get a minor in interior design? She's like, your options are stay in school for another 4 years, don't graduate, or you can try and stay another year and get a minor in interior design. And that's more of, not a minor, I'm sorry, a master's. Okay. And master's is more of like the study of interior design, not necessarily the traits that you need.
Got it.
To be a designer. And so I was like, there goes that idea. So I graduate, and my life at the time took me to Vegas. And I graduated 7 months pregnant with my daughter, Olivia. I looked at going to design school in Las Vegas because that's where our life was. And that just didn't make sense as far as financial means. If I go to Arizona, I was like, oh, you can transfer all my ASU credits and I can just take the core classes. Right. So I was like, I can do this quick. I can get my degree and quickly move back to Vegas with him. So we did that. And this is when I become pregnant with my daughter. Instead of going right to it, I have to take a pause because I'm now a mom. And so I stay home with her for 16 months. The desire to go do design never fades away.
Right.
It just stays there burning. Especially,
your passion's there still.
It's still there. So I ended up cold calling a bunch of interior designers that I looked up in Las Vegas. I was like, I'll work for free for you guys. I just admire your work and would love an opportunity to meet with you. One of the designers met with me, and the one that I really wanted to work for too.
She reached out.
I harassed her.
Okay, and that's normal.
She finally took the bite and said that she'd meet me for coffee. And I was like, just the hunger was there. And I think she saw that. And I said, I just came out of school and I don't have a lot of experience, but I will do whatever it takes to learn it. And she took a chance on me and completely changed my career.
Yeah, the trajectory right there, changed everything. So you started with her.
Yes.
Cutting your teeth. What were the first things that you learned that were staple pieces of interior designing? When you walk into a home, what are you looking for? Do you have that magic eye of, I'm going to do this and this? Or is there a foundation or a framework that interior designers start with and then evolve from there?
I think, obviously, if you're dealing, that's a hard question. How do I phrase this? I feel like, yes, there's a foundation that you obviously build upon, and it differs from scope to scope because our work is custom to the client. So that foundation is built upon the client's needs and wants. And so it could be the client has this piece of artwork that they want to start off with, and that's your foundation. Or the client wants to remodel this whole kitchen and it wants to evoke a certain style, and that's your foundation. I think it's dependent upon the project.
Interesting. So with a staple piece, like if you have that staple piece, then you're using that and then you're starting to design around that staple. Yeah. Are you trying to introduce colors at first? Are you thinking of more pieces that are going to complement that staple piece?
I think it's building off of that foundation, whether you're adding color or if it already has a lot of color, you're toning it down. If you need to embrace it with the entire house, then you need to make sure that you're creating a holistic design and adding those type of colors or tones throughout the other areas of the home. And I think it's just that foundation piece, again, that you're building off. And just as an artist, it's your muse. And it just helps you build and you create your art piece, which is the design for the home.
I truly feel you are an artist because you have this blank canvas that you're working with sometimes, right? Sometimes, like you said, clients maybe have the house pretty much done, but they're looking for something else. But with these blank canvases, there's so much you could think of and imagine. And just like an artist, you're starting to put things together in a way that you think is going to resonate for the client or for those people who are walking in the door to create that wow factor.
Yeah.
And we're in a new community, and you walk into our house right now and it's like bright white. It's all like snowbound white. And obviously we want to make sure that we're bringing in more colors and stuff. But when you're working with these clients, So you get a call. Is it they invite you over and, hey, here's our thoughts, here's our hopes. And then are you,
There's an interview
oh,
process
okay.
that you like to start with first because not every client is your client and you're not everyone's designer. And that's probably a hard pill to swallow, especially as a business owner. And that's just leaving your ego to the side and understanding, well, I'm not everyone's designer, not everyone's my client. And so understanding who your client is and what type of designer you are, I think having that identity, you'll be a lot more successful in business. And so to that, it's a matter of when you interview these clients, which is like a discovery call, they fill out a form or some sort of, they reach out to you on a client inquiry. Then you schedule a discovery call. And there, as a designer, you really are vetting out the project, the client themselves, their style, budget, and overall goals, because sometimes those don't necessarily align and you're not a magician. As much as they think you're an artist and you're a magician and you can create it out of thin air, there's a budget to it. And so you got to get all of get all of the details from your client before you make that discovery walk happen. There's a lot more that you need to uncover before, and valuing everyone's time and understanding that before you make that actual. I like to go walk the space. After that, every designer's process is different. And that's okay. And it's actually a lot to learn from. And you mold it into what best fits you as a person and designer. But I personally like to have the discovery call, then the walk, because I vet out, okay, I'm the right person for this. Let me go walk it now. And there you start to uncover more than what they just said over the phone.
Right.
9 times out of 10.
And you're in that discovery walk.
Yeah.
So that's really where you're getting to feel the house and what they're looking for. I think that's so important. So you're going through a process. You have this discovery call. You have this discovery walkthrough. You're talking about these budgeting things. It's crazy because the way that you're describing this is what I do in my business. We have a discovery call as well. We talk, so my business is, I own a financial firm and we've talked about that. And so we use this discovery call to just start to get a sense of where they're at in their life. Can we really help them? Are they going to be a good fit? And then there's like a strategy visit, say. And so we go through this process and it sounds exactly the same with interior design. I think every business needs a strong process. And it sounds like with your business right now, you have a really good process that is aligned. It's going to align your interest as well as theirs to make sure that you guys can proceed in the relationship. Is that accurate?
Yeah. And knowing as a business owner, whatever business you own, your process evolves. It evolves with how you take in clients, how the business has shifted. I guess you just have to be open-minded to that process too.
Yeah. How do you think your design style has changed over the year?
It
Did you start off like,
It always evolves.
I was going to say, probably with every house, it has to.
Actually right on. After every project, it evolves into, because you really sometimes you're on these projects 1 to 2 years.
Wow, really?
Yeah. When
Oh my
you're dealing
goodness.
with new construction, sometimes when you're dealing with major remodels, you're on this project for a long time. And so it's like giving birth at the end of it. You've shaped it, you've molded it, you've grown it. And then when it's there and it's done and installed, you've given birth to it. And you're like, wow,
Done.
I'm done.
Thank gosh.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes it feels that way and sometimes you're sad. It depends on how it went, which is typical.
You really have to be aligned with those clients because that's a long time to work with someone, Michelle.
It's a long time to work with someone. It's a relationship. I call it a marriage. That's why this process, the vetting process, is so important in the beginning because you're building a foundation for this marriage that you're about to embark on for a period of time.
Can you share like one project that really stood out for you? Maybe it was like your first project, maybe it was just recently. Why did it stand out to you? And maybe talk about some things you learned from that project and things that you can improve on.
Okay, I'm probably not gonna remember all the questions, but
So what's that one project that is just pops out in your memory? Gosh, that that was the one, or that was a nightmare, or that was great.
Gosh, the most recent one that I completed in North Scottsdale was close to 8,500 square foot remodel.
Wow.
Was a really big feat to accomplish. And we had 9 months of construction time to complete an 8,500 square foot remodel,
Okay.
which if you are not familiar with construction, that is an impossible deadline.
Yeah.
Because you have no idea what kind of bumps you're going to, whether it's product delays, whether it's construction delays, anything can happen. And so when you are already on an impossible timeline and accept it, challenges will come your way.
Yeah.
But if you don't give up and you just persevere, the beauty that comes of it is so rewarding.
Gosh, I'm already starting to hear a theme to this podcast.
Oh, what is it?
From the wedding to these homes that you're getting into. It's just, you got to persevere. You got to pivot. You got to just keep trucking along.
Yeah.
And trust your gut.
Yeah. It's intimidating. At times, it can be intimidating. Not now, because I feel a little seasoned here, but for anyone new coming into our industry, especially as a female, and you are you're co-running, I don't want to say running it, because you're running it with the builder who does an amazing job. And without them, your work can't come to life a lot of the times. But they're all looking for you for the answer.
Yeah.
Does this color look right? Does this size look right? If something goes wrong, like, what do you want to do? We can no longer do the tile layout because the wall had to be bumped out. So now what do we do? And they're all looking for you for the answer. And it can be really intimidating, but if you can just trust your gut and not be afraid to keep pushing forward. What I've learned in business and through these projects is I'm not afraid to be solution oriented. If I don't know the answers, who do I collaborate that can help us get there? And we can be successful in that.
And this is your business?
Yes.
And do you have other people who are working with you with these projects? Because 8,500 square sounds like a massive project. And
Yeah.
I'm sure and you're handling life too. You have two kids, you're planning a wedding for 9 months. So with these projects, are you leaning on someone else to assist you with maybe materials or measurements? Talk about your team.
It's a small team.
Okay.
And I have a technical designer who helps me with the renderings and some of the drawings to really bring it to life, to showcase what we're doing. And there's the construction documents that need to be had. So there's a technical designer that I think is much needed in any studio. And then I have an operations assistant who handles all the procurement of the projects. The amount of purchasing that happens on that size of a home is large, and it's a job in itself. I have someone who helps him on the back end of the studio, just making sure things are tracking. But you're overseeing all of it still. Even though you have this as the lead, you still have to oversee all of this, plus what other projects you have going on too. But our small but mighty team does the trick for my formula.
I love boutique small companies.
Why?
I think they have their finger on the pulse. Like at all times. And so with bigger organizations, what I've found and what I believe to be true is there's a lot of things that get missed or slip through the cracks. And once again, I'm just going to lean into like our business. It's me and my wife. It's a very small company, but we manage a lot of clients' money. And we have a lot of clients. We need to service those clients, but everything is being directed towards me, right? Or Kate. And we're great at communicating. And if it's not my wheelhouse, then I could pass the torch to Kate and say, hey, Kate, this is your side of the business. This is operational. So I love the boutique companies because I feel you're going to get more value and the relationship is going to be more powerful. So working with a company like yours, for me, it would be a good fit. Because I want to have these relationships with my interior designer, my CPA, my lawyer, whatever it is, because I'm trying to build a community. I'm trying to build relationships that are going to, I guess, ripen over the years. And so I
feel like I've heard that a lot where I always had a dream of having my own business. I never knew what that was but here we are, and I'm so excited, so happy with where it's landed me. And so those dreams used to be big, where I wanted a big team and a big office because I felt like that's what you needed to succeed, or that's the appearance that you needed to have to succeed. And the older I'm getting, the more I'm realizing the smaller the team, the more successful I think you can be, because these clients are hiring you. You have a team to assist you, but they're hiring you, and they don't want to be, at least in my experience, they don't want to be handed off.
I agree.
They want you.
I agree.
And so my capacity can only go so far. So in order for me to be their designer, I have the support team, and I'm their designer, and it's keeping myself small.
Yeah. Also, to being small, you are able to pivot a lot faster than a bigger company. There's a lot of
and I'm fast-paced moving.
I know you are, Michelle. Let's talk about that a little bit. So, the mighty Michelle. Yeah, you are one of the most driven women that I've met for a long time. And so, can we lean into like our history a little bit?
Sure.
And so, you and Kate originally were working together, right?
Yeah, she worked for a magazine.
That's right.
And I was her marketing assistant.
Okay.
I was Kate, your wife's marketing assistant, and that's how our relationship blossomed.
Yeah, and so you guys started hanging out, and then
we found out our birthdays were the same day.
That's right.
And then we just clicked.
Wow.
Over that, yeah.
And so fast forward, then somehow we had an extra room and you moved in with us.
While I was in design school.
That's right. And that was a fun time. We got to know each other, sometimes maybe a little bit too deep. We won't go there, but no, we had some really good nights with wine, conversations, and
always business talking.
Yeah, well, between me and you, it was more business talking.
Yeah.
With Kate, it's like, hey, oh, you look beautiful. What's going on? But you have always been driven, and you're looking to build that massive company, right? You're looking to start your own podcast. You're looking to just level up. You know what I'm feeling a little bit, Michelle? I'm feeling more of a mature woman right now. Is not saying that you're slowing down, but you're wise beyond your years. Now, maybe because it's your 2 kids, you had a previous marriage, and now you're in a new marriage, and you've experienced life. It's fine wine. Am I making you feel good?
A little old, but still good. I'm kidding.
You're young.
You're right in the sense of it. You don't know how it hits you. You don't wake up one day and you're like, dang, I'm much wiser. It's just decisions that you start making slowly over time that you realize I'm not as fast paced as I used to be. I'm not a huge risk taker. I at least think about it a little bit more. And I think to start your own business, you need to be naive to a certain extent. For me, it was like naive and feeling like there was no other option. It was this business or my life was going to crumble. It wasn't the case, but that's what I convinced myself of. And I appreciate that young version of me who pushed forward. But now that I'm in it and have made my mistakes and have overcome them and still make them, I realize you gotta slow it down a bit and knowing your capacity, knowing your limits, that you do have limits. We all have them.
We do. And I'm 47. I'm getting to that ripe age of 50. But right now, I do feel like I'm slowing down a little bit. And I had great conversations actually last night with a gentleman that you know, and we were talking about just life in general. And it goes by so fast. And if you're always trying to chase life, and if you're not just like digesting life, it's just, it goes by a little bit too quick. So I think that's where I'm at in my life. I'm downshifting. I'm focusing more on my kids because
the older they get, the more they need from you too.
Yeah.
Until a certain point, and then they don't need you anymore.
Yeah, hopefully that's not the case. I want my kids to always need me for sure. Maybe not the money side, but as long as
they'll always need that.
I know, especially today's market cycle. But I'm trying to slow down things because I look at my little girl and I'm looking at my boy, and their faces are changing, they're getting bigger, and it's just, and then I'm starting to feel a little bit more aches and pains and getting a little bit more groggy when I wake up. It's just, God, this is really happening.
Yeah, your priorities shift. And I think as we got older, as we see our kids needing us more, you realize you can't be all the business and the father that they need to be. I also feel like my partner has helped me appreciate the downtime versus I was always like, prior to meeting him, my mind was always like, go.
Oh, I know.
It was always green light. Have an idea, go for it. You want to evolve, go for it. But being with him and him making me slow down and think about off time, vacation, traveling, kids. I was never really intrigued by any of it. Kids, yes. But vacation and downtime was never an appeal to me. It was like, how do I take work with me? Or work needs me, I can't go too far. But in our first year of relationship, took me all over the world. And
I was going to say, you guys were traveling a lot.
we did.
It was truly romancing.
We were lucky. We just had these great opportunities where we got to go travel the world. And it just made me appreciate life in a whole different way. I don't want to be stuck where I can't take off with my family whenever I want to.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the key to life is I would rather burn the boats when I'm a little bit younger versus trying to burn the boats a little bit later. And what I mean by that is take all the risk when you're younger, in your 20s, coming out of high school, just go to Vegas and just throw it all out there. In business, throw it all out there. But as you get older and you start to mature and you took those big risks, you could start being more conservative. And I think that's the message I would want to share more and more to me and Bryson is, you guys, I want you guys to take as much risk as possible coming out of high school. I don't want you to get locked down in a job. I don't even necessarily know if I want them to go to college with everything that's going on in the world, AI, social media. I think there's so many opportunities out there that you don't need a degree. Now, obviously, if they want to be a doctor or a lawyer, that's their choosing. But I want them to take as much risk as possible to allow them more financial freedom and more time to go enjoy life in their 40s and 50s, where I feel I'm still grinding. And I'm okay with that, Michelle. I'm okay with that. I don't know about you, but I'm okay grinding for my kids because I'm trying to change that legacy that I want to provide them. I'm trying to be that father who can change their path for the better. And they don't need to always stress like I did. I'm not going to give them everything, but I'm going to teach them and I'm going to educate them, and they're going to have a good dad and mentor.
What would you say if your kids came to you and said, I want to either A, start my own business, or want to go in the corporate world? Where would you steer them?
Business, start my own business, or the corporate world. I think both are great opportunities because in the corporate world, you can truly climb the corporate ladder, especially being younger and aggressive. I think it's going to be awesome for them to see the corporate world. But then on the business side, knowing what I've done, I can guide them to hopefully make that business grow a little bit faster.
I think for me, if my kids, I always want them to own something, whether I'd much rather them say they're going to buy their first house when they get out of school versus go to the corporate world or own a business, because I see the value in real estate. But to me, I think there's no wrong way. They're going to stumble upon where next step takes them to where they need to be presently. So I don't think there's a wrong answer of don't go to the corporate world. You have to own your own business. I'm a business owner. There's ebbs and flows. Do I want that for my kids? If they can get success out of being in the corporate world, then that's where they will go.
Yeah. And you mentioned real estate too. I love real estate. We've talked about real estate.
Yeah.
I think real estate is one of the stickier tools in a portfolio, right?
But if I can go back and tell my younger self, I would say invest in real estate early on, right away.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
build that portfolio fast.
Yeah, I was just talking to a gentleman last night. His brother owns 47 rental properties.
Yeah.
Just imagine that, Michelle, owning 47 rental properties, and those things, probably they're all cash flowing in some sense. I owned the Scottsdale house, and then I owned a Gilbert house. And I think didn't you help design the Scottsdale house for
Yeah.
me too? And I think massive mistakes that I made to sell those houses.
Oh, the Gilbert one. I helped with the Gilbert one.
Yeah, the Gilbert one, but you also did in the Scottsdale home.
Oh,
The laundry room.
I did. That's
Yeah.
right.
Was that like,
One of my first ones.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that was one of my first solo projects.
Yeah, with what is that called? The board that goes over.
The washer and dryer.
Yeah, what is that called?
Butcher block.
Butcher block, yes. And that turned out amazing.
Yeah.
And you did cabinets and a seating place. Gosh, I wish I didn't sell that thing. That was amazing. 100%, because I think we sold the Scottsdale house, and a year later we looked at Zillow, and it was like $200,000 to $300,000.
That was like right before COVID.
Yeah.
COVID was simultaneously happening when that happened.
And this is what you don't know. Like, I didn't have anyone talking to me. Like, unfortunately, my parents were not in real estate. And I didn't have good mentors in real estate to say, don't do this. This is a mistake. I had my brother saying, oh, I think this is the top dollar you're going to get for the house. And bless his heart, we didn't know. But looking back, I'm like, wow, you could have been Airbnb-ing those. I was like right there.
You were in a great spot to Airbnb it, but
Yeah.
it's hindsight, right? It's made you a wiser person and a real estate owner.
Yeah.
Now.
And now that's why I started like.
It's the hard knocks of school. That you
Hard knocks. God, I've had so many hard knocks, Michelle. What's the hardest knock for you? What was that one thing that this is tough to come back from right now?
I think, gosh, every year I'm in business feels like I learn one hard knock.
Yeah.
But I think to what I was speaking about earlier, that I'm not everyone's client, not everyone's my client, was one of those things where you have to learn how to persevere and to continue to keep, because I lost a project that I felt like was mine and I didn't get it, and you just get crushed sometimes in it. And if you let it eat you, you're like, what am I doing? Let me pivot. Let me get it out of this. I don't think I need to do this. Those are those thoughts that maybe run through your head. And it's one of those things where you just learn there's always going to be somebody. There's so much work to be had. And you are somebody's designer. It's just not this one yet, maybe. And so I think it was just learning that you got to check your ego and put that aside.
There's an abundance of opportunities out there.
And having that mindset.
Of just like
an abundance mindset.
Right. Yeah, I truly feel that's where I'm at right now. If a client doesn't on board with me, I'm completely fine with it, because I am not like your traditional advisor, right? I was a fireman, and I have 25 years of just like street knowledge. And when someone sits down and they have a couple $1 million in their accounts, they're looking for a seasoned professional. So what does that even mean? What's a seasoned professional? For me, a seasoned professional means I'm going to open up the books and I'm going to learn as much as I can. And then I'm going to get into business to prove I know more than a lot of other people.
Yeah.
And that's the burn the boats mentality for me. And that's where I was at in my life. I was just like, I want to learn how to invest. I want to learn how to be a great financial advisor. And now that I've grown to be a great financial advisor, when those people sit across the table from me and they have a couple $1 million, I'm actually the one saying, I don't think we could work together because we're just not aligning. I think looking at the opportunities in front of you, whether it be your skill set in interior design, being of that abundant mind and knowing that there's opportunities around every corner, I think that is the way to live your life. Not from that scarcity mindset of, oh my gosh, if I don't get this, how am I going to pay my bills? Just saying everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
I know who I am. You know who you are, what you're capable of. You do awesome work. I look at your social media. You've done stuff for us. Anyone who doesn't hire you, in my opinion, no disrespect, is a fool. Because you're great to work with. You're compassionate. You're a hard worker. You're a very driven woman and you have something to prove. You still got the edge.
Yeah,
You still want to prove yourself.
totally. When I was camping last weekend, we were at the Grand Canyon. All of this reminds me of that moment that I had just looking out at the canyon and feeling like you think your life is major. You think you and all your problems are so big and serious. But when you look at this canyon and see what, I believe God created, and you're like, you're small. Your worries, your fears, whoever you think you are is so small in comparison to like this grand thing that we need to appreciate. This grand life of being. It made me realize like everything's going to be okay. No matter what we face, everything's going to be okay.
So I've leaned into the church a little bit more after my mom passed away. And it's surprising that the more people that I talk with, whether it's on this podcast, whether it's in the outside world, everyone is going through some type of struggle, right? Mm-hmm. And I think there comes a point in your life where you don't know who to turn to, what to believe in. And there's this one kind of like thing that continued to happen in my head. It's like, he's always there. He's always there. He's always there. And my mom always said that. And when she passed away, I was like, I'm going to start going to church. And what you just said about not worrying too much because there's this grand life. I think that's what he wants, right? He wants us to not worry. He wants to take that worry away from us and allow us to be free in the mind and the heart, to go enjoy ourselves, and to know that even in the hardest times, we're going to get through it and he's going to be there for us. And I know you lean into the church a little bit and you have a lot of connections in that space. What do you think is like one thing that you've learned from the church that really has changed your life?
Number one is learning to have a relationship with him. Yeah, it changed my life because it changes how I receive him. And that was big, learning how to pray and just learning how to connect with him. I grew up Catholic, and when I moved out here a long time ago, I went to my first non-denominational Christian church, and that was a whole new world. I grew up 18 years of going to Catholic church and then coming to a place where I remember walking in from the parking lot thinking, why is not everyone all dressed up? That was my number one thing. What am I getting myself into? And then they were holding coffee mugs and taking their coffee mugs into church. And then there were no pews. It was chairs, and it was more like an auditorium. And I was just like, I could leave now. I could just go now. But I stayed, and it was that whole I remember calling my mom, who just started going to a non-denominational Christian church, and I asked her, like, what does it mean, come as you are? Why are they carrying all the coffee mugs and casual wear? And there's no pews, there was no kneeling, there was no like formal communion. And it just awoke in my relationship, my spirituality into a whole nother level. And it has changed it changed everything, how I lean into when I have worries, when I have excitement, not to forget to give that gratitude back to him and remember it's all because of him.
Yeah. It's every Sunday now is a very special day for me. And obviously my wife was raised Catholic, and it's special because I get to gather the kids and gather the family and go to church and really connect with not just my family, but connect with God. And every time I go, Michelle, I truly feel that message is for me. Like every time the pastor is speaking, I'm always like, how do you know this about me? Why are you talking to me? Why are you talking directly to me? Like, why are you talking directly to my heart? And that's what I always feel. And then the music is so uplifting, and I just come out of that just feeling so gracious and so uplifting about life and the opportunities that I have before me, the struggles that I had and how I've outgrown those struggles. Not saying that I don't have struggles still, but some of those really tough times in my life, I'm able to put those away and just close those chapters, which I think is actually allowing me to be even more free. I'm closer to God than I've ever been, and I'm just so grateful that I found him, I found the church, and I'm getting to lean into that message.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you're there.
Yeah, thank you. So wrap it up here pretty quick, Michelle, but I want to know, what's that one thing that you're so excited for about this new love that you have?
Oh gosh, I really do feel like I've met my person. And so I'm just excited that we now get to create this life together. So I'm really looking forward to all these years that we get to have together as him as a new parent, guiding him in that, and really just being together and doing life together with him.
Yeah. So you guys are expecting, and that's going to be his first.
It will be his first.
And you have 2 kids from your previous, right? Olivia and Easton, right?
Yes.
Okay. Easton looks so handsome. I mean, Olivia was beautiful, but Easton was just, he was so proper in his little suit.
His 3-piece suit.
He was a charmer.
He is going to be heartbreaker.
He really, Kate and I were talking about him a lot, and just, yeah, it was sad to see him sad. But
he was just so cold and uncomfortable and just couldn't shake that off.
Oh, got it. Okay.
But I love being a mom and seeing these kids evolve, and seeing that Olivia, she is a go-getter herself in her own right. She's a strong, independent little woman, and I can't wait to help her. It is really hard to also be a mom to a strong lady.
I bet.
That girl, just learning how to, she's constantly pushing me and making me softer as a mother too. And just seeing, I look at her and I think about, this is the type of love that I needed when I see her. So I try to give that back to her. And Easton, he has the biggest heart. He is truly just a sweet heart, and he is my mama's boy, and I love growing this little boy, and I love seeing him evolve. And we're having a girl.
Are you? Congratulations.
Yes. We are having a girl, and I'm so excited to see this dynamic change one more time. Last time.
Yeah. The last time.
And the last time.
After this is done.
This is the last time, yeah.
Does Tyler know that?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
that was part of our agreement.
Right,
you get
right.
one.
Yeah, you did like a reveal, right?
Yeah.
At the wedding. And so seeing his face, that was awesome.
Easton's face was even more amazing.
Yeah. Sorry, I said Easton was sad. Not sad like for the marriage that day. It was probably sad because he wasn't cold, or he wasn't like getting his Nintendo or something like that. But it was just...
Easton was upset. It was not a boy.
Oh, really? He was?
He
Oh,
was he wanted a brother.
Oh,
I remember like looking over to him because the reveal was we cut the cake, right? So we cut the cake, and at first it was the lightest color. So when we had our daughter, my daughter cut into it, and she slices it, and it's this thick cake, and we don't see any color. And Tyler and I, of course, we're so anxious, and so is everyone trying to figure out what is it. I'm like, slice it open. What is this thing?
Grab it with your hands.
And then I was like, oh my gosh, it's pink, a girl.
Goodness.
And I turn over to Easton, and he's, I wanted a boy. That was the best reaction.
I love that name too, Easton. So now it's a beautiful day. You guys have a beautiful family. I'm so excited for you and Tyler with this new opportunity and this new little baby that's going to come into the world, and she's going to have great parents. And I appreciate you coming on, Michelle. It's been obviously every time we get together, it's very special.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to having dinner with you and Tyler and having the kids over and seeing the new baby. For those of you who aren't aware, Michelle, can you just tell the viewers where they could find you at, how they could get in contact with you for your business? Is it Lively House?
Yeah,
okay,
Lively
just wanted to
House.
make sure.
They can always look me up online at alivelyhouse.com or on my social media pages at A Lively House, because that is truly what I have, a lively house. And it's been a joy to be on this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Just go ahead and hit the subscribe button and leave a review for us. Obviously, we're trying to put out as much content as possible. We want to add as much value to the listeners. And Michelle, you've been a very great guest, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you guys.